Raised access floors are a common installation system in commercial applications. They allow for voided floor space underneath the finished floor to distribute power, air, data, and voice. It's common to have multiple finished floor surfaces installed over the top of the panels. Tile is a popular choice for such applications due to its durability, ease of maintenance, and beautiful finish. Typically, plywood or cement board is installed with appropriate setting materials over the panels, followed by tile. However, these substrates can be cumbersome to work with and are difficult to bond directly to the various panel materials. Not to mention, they can also be costly and often have no warranty. Panels are available in a variety of surface materials, with the most common being concrete, galvanized steel, and resin-coated steel. Why choose Ditra for a raised access floor? Ditra is specifically designed to allow the installation of ceramic and stone tile over any even and load-bearing substrate, including the various panel substrates in raised access flooring systems. Ditra is also lightweight and quick and easy to install. Ditra is thin, which minimizes tile assembly thickness and reduces transitions to lower surface coverings. These characteristics make tile installation over larger commercial spaces efficient. Ditra performs 4 essential functions. The first function is uncoupling. This allows the tile and substrate to move independently of one another and helps to prevent cracked tile and grout. Waterproofing and vapor management can help keep all of those underfloor elements safe from water and residual moisture. And support, to make sure that the tile covering will remain intact when exposed to heavy traffic. All of these functions make Ditra the reliable choice over raised access floor systems. This video will show you how to install Ditra over raised access floor panels. Refer to the Schluter Ditra Installation Handbook, detail D-AFP-T, for all of the requirements for installation and for comprehensive warranty information. We will also be installing a Kerdi drain as a secondary floor drain within the assembly. The Kerdi drain can be installed in wet areas where waterproofing is desired, such as washrooms, janitorial rooms, and kitchens. The subfloor panels are properly fastened to the appropriate pedestals and secure, and any leveling that was required beforehand has been completed. The opening in the panels for the Kerdi drain has been prepared. Sweep the floor to remove any debris and clean any dust from the substrate with a damp sponge. Galvanized steel surfaces in particular need to be cleaned to remove any grease or other contaminants. The substrate is clean, even, and load-bearing. First, we need to apply a thin-set mortar primer to the panels. Use a primer that is suitable for the application. Consult the primer manufacturer for application instructions and drying times. Acceptable panels must feature a surface that can be prepared to bond with thin-set mortar and hold the weight of the tile assembly. Once the primer is dry, we install the Ditra membrane. Ditra is installed simply and easily with thin-set mortar. We are using Schluter All-Set Modified Thin-Set Mortar to bond the matting to the primed panels. Schluter Fast-Set Rapid Setting Modified Thin-Set Mortar may be used as well. If you are not using a Schluter mortar, a modified thin-set mortar is used to install Ditra over primed access panels. The mortar is mixed to a fairly fluid consistency, but still able to hold a notch. A 1/4 inch by 3/16 inch V-notch trowel, or the Schluter Ditra trowel, which features a 4.5 mm by 4.5 mm square notch design, is used to apply the mortar. Apply a thin layer of the mortar with the flat side of the trowel to produce solid contact with the substrate. And then comb additional mortar using the notch side of the trowel. Apply the Ditra fleece side down. And solidly embed in the mortar using a float or the Ditra roller. When using the Ditra roller, place a weight on the shelf and and slowly move the roller from one end of the matting to the other, slightly overlapping successive passes. Bags of thin-set mortar, grout, or boxes of tile can be used as weight, provided the total weight is kept under 75 pounds. Lift up a corner of the membrane to check coverage. Proper installation results in full contact between the fleece and the thin-set mortar. Re-embed the Ditra. If sufficient coverage is not achieved, remove and reapply fresh mortar. This process is repeated over the entire floor, abutting adjacent pieces of Ditra until the installation is complete. In dry areas, tile can now be installed. In this particular application, waterproofing is required, so a floor drain is being installed within the assembly. We are installing the stainless steel Kerdi drain. Mark the Ditra around the drain flange. Cut and remove the membrane. This will allow the Kerdi drain to sit flush or slightly below the Ditra. The Kerdi drain is installed with thin-set mortar. Apply thin-set mortar to the area where the Kerdi drain is to be installed. Schluter all-set or fast-set thin-set mortar can be used. Press the Kerdi drain firmly into the mortar to ensure full support of the bonding flange, and see that it is flush or slightly below the Ditra. Check for level. Floors can be made fully waterproof with Ditra if desired, by sealing drain connections, floor-to-wall transitions, and seams with Schluter Kerdi waterproofing accessories. A section of Kerdi is used to secure the connection to the Kerdi drain. Measure and cut a section of Kerdi so that a 2-inch overlap is achieved at all junctions. The stainless steel Kerdi drain requires the use of Schluter Kerdi Fix to bond the Kerdi to the flange. A small tube of Kerdi Fix is included with the stainless steel drain flange. The stainless steel flange must be clean and free of grease or other contaminants prior to applying Kerdi Fix. Apply Kerdi Fix to the drain flange. Then apply any of our Schluter thin-set mortars, or an unmodified thin-set mortar to the Ditra surrounding the flange. The mortar is mixed to a fairly fluid consistency, but still able to hold a notch. A 1/4 inch by 3/16 inch V-notch trowel, or the Schluter Kerdi trowel, which features a 1/8 inch by 1/8 inch square notch design, is used to apply the mortar. Apply thin-set mortar to the area where the Kerdi is to be installed. Fill the cavities in the Ditra matting and comb additional mortar using the notched side of the trowel. Embed the Kerdi into the thin-set mortar using the flat side of the trowel or a drywall finishing knife. Repeat this process around the entire drain, making sure this connection is secure. Clean any excess setting material from the step and the bonding flange. We used baby wipes for this. To complete the waterproofing application, Kerdi Karat corners and the Kerdi band are installed along the floor-to-wall transitions and Ditra seams. The process for installation is the same. 2-inch overlaps can be achieved at inside corners without continuing Kerdi band all the way to the corner of the room. This will limit buildup of the membrane in these areas and make setting small tiles easier. Finally, Kerdi band is installed at Ditra seams. The waterproofing application is now complete. Tile may be installed immediately over Ditra using any of our Schluter thin-set mortars, or an unmodified thin-set mortar. Fill the cavities in the Ditra with thin-set mortar. Then comb additional mortar over the matting using a notched trowel that is appropriate for the size of the tile. It is best practice to back butter the tile. Solidly embed the tiles in the setting material. making sure to observe the open time of the mortar. Slide the tile back and forth to collapse the mortar ridges and transfer the mortar to the back of the tile. It is important to have a perimeter movement joint throughout the tile assembly. One option, as shown here, is to use shims to keep a 1/4 inch area between the wall and tile free of any setting material, to ensure a consistent joint along the perimeter. We'll continue to clean this area as we set our tile, and we'll remove the shims once the installation is complete, so that we have a functional movement joint between the tile assembly and the wall. Continue to set the tile up to where the Kerdi drain grate will be installed. The grate assembly is installed in conjunction with the tile. Be sure to back butter the underside of the grate to help ensure full support. Then, place the height adjustment collar inside the lateral adjustment ring. Fill the step in the bonding flange with thin set mortar. Press the assembly into the mortar and install the surrounding tiles, ensuring full coverage. Position the grate to match the joint pattern of the tile covering and press flush with the tile surface. Remove all excess setting material immediately. Continue setting the tile up to where the transition profile will be installed. We are installing the Schluter Reno U to transition from the tile floor to the carpet. Using a notch trowel, apply thin set mortar to the area where the Reno U profiles will be installed. Fill the cavity beneath the sloped section of the profile with thin set mortar. We are abutting the profile up to the Ditra membrane. By keeping the anchoring leg free of Ditra, it will also help eliminate any buildup when installing tile. Firmly press the anchoring leg of the profile into the thin set mortar and align. Apply additional thin set mortar over the anchoring leg of the Reno U and set tile as usual. Grout is applied to complete the tile installation. Keep in mind, it is important to keep the perimeter of the tile installation clean, so that we don't compromise that free space serving as our movement joint. We decided to install the Design Base SLE wall base profile, since it offers the perfect alternative to rubber or vinyl wall bases in commercial applications. Ditra is the perfect solution to set tile in raised access flooring applications. The benefits and ease of installation help to ensure consistent success over the various types of panels and allow tile to be integrated into these systems to provide a beautiful and durable finish.